Hi, everyone. My name is Monroe Mann with Breakdiving. Today, we're joined by Gay Marie in the Philippines and also Shemaine in Zimbabwe. And we are going to be talking about three motivational tenets of the Divers Code. As many of you may or may not know, breakdiving is a by application only social media community where we all help and support and uplift one another from around the world. And anyone who wants to join has to know what these 12 tenets of the Divers Code are. And we're going to go over three of them today, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to share my screen. And by the way, if it sounds like this is school or this or that, it's not. It's really actually just these are great things to live by. And Gay and Shemaine and I were talking earlier about how not only are these three things that are what we expect of you in the community, but it's also what breakdivers do in life. We always try to help. We brag tastefully, and we keep my ego in check. And what we were talking about is actually these three are very related. Because if you really always want to help others, then it means you're always going to keep your ego in check. And if you keep your ego in check, you're always going to end up bragging tastefully rather than trying to make others feel like failures as a result. So let's start at the top, Gay and Shemaine here. I always try to help. Can you read this, Gay?
At every level of my success, I try to help others on their drive towards their success. I'll always try to reach out my hand to help those who are still struggling every day. I strive to be the pick me up and smile to someone in need. Uh-huh. My font is too small.
That's okay. Good. You read that correctly.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
basically what this is saying is just because you're becoming a success, I mean, breakdivers, we live by that creed. No rules, no excuses, no regrets. We're going to make our dreams come true. But it's always disappointing when people make their dreams come true and they don't care about helping anybody else. And so that's what we want
Mm-hmm.
to inspire all of our members, that no matter how successful you are, try to help others on their drive towards success too. And whatever breakdiving level you get to level 2, well, then you should be helping the level 1s, and you should be helping the level 3s too, and the 4s. We can all help one another. Do you guys know this expression, a pick me up?
I strive to be the pick me up and smile to someone. I don't get it. Pick me up.
So a pick me
It's
up
my
is
first
somebody
time.
who picks you up. When you
Okay.
fall on the ground, someone who's a pick me up, or you could watch a
Oh,
YouTube
okay, I
video.
got it.
On a YouTube video that makes you smile could be a pick me up. It's whatever you do that can help others get off the floor and stand up again on their own 2 feet. Shemaine, what do you think about this?
Um, uh, uh, I I just agree with what's written there.
You just agree with it. Okay, good. What do you do? Do you do anything? What did you do this week, Shemaine, to be a to be the smile to someone in need? Did you do something this week to help somebody smile?
Um, this week I don't think so. I didn't.
So think about that. That's not good. It means you're thinking only about yourself this entire week. And when you start thinking about yourself, you start to get depressed. You start to think that your life sucks or this or that. You have to get out of your thinking about yourself. And how do you do that? You need to be the smile to someone else. You need to be the pick me up to someone else. Gay, have you done anything this week to make someone smile or to help that person?
Of course, yeah, I'm a food lover and love giving food to others.
That's cool. So you gave some food to some people who were hungry?
Yeah, I give food from my friend because I had an extra The one that I posted in break diving on the
Okay.
page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
I
By the
have
way,
an
Shanae,
extra
I
feedback.
know that you've been in the community in the last week, so clearly you've been being this pick me up and smile to someone in need, because every time you reply to somebody here or post something, you could maybe make somebody else smile. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So think about this week going forward. I mean, I always think all the time that I spend in this community and even leading this meeting here, I'm always trying to help. I want to help other people. I want to help other people be more successful, be less lonely. And in so doing, you end up helping yourself, because the more you help others, the less you think about yourself. And if you don't think about yourself, you can't be depressed. So
Mm-hmm.
let's go to the next one. I brag tastefully. This is something that I think I haven't actually been doing as well as I should be, because I have so many accomplishments that I have done in the last 3 to 4 years, and I just haven't really told people about them. And I have an email list that I don't really tell. I'm proud of my accomplishments, but I haven't said anything. So it's kind of it's not as bad as this if you brag and discourage and insult other people. But I also think it's just as bad if you don't tell other people about your successes. Because if you don't brag tastefully, if you don't tell people why they should trust you and all of the things that you've done, nobody's going to know anything, and you're going to miss out on opportunities. And I know myself, I've probably missed many opportunities in the last year simply because I haven't told everybody as much as I should have about my accomplishments. Shemaine, can you read this one here? Can you read this?
I can and should be proud of my accomplishments, but breakdivers try to brag without discouraging and insulting others. In other words, I share my accomplishments only under 3 conditions: as a means to share the joy, as a means of inspiring others to follow in my footsteps, and as a means to encourage those who are thinking of quitting.
Good. So, and I think so many people don't brag because they feel like if they're bragging, it's wrong. But no, if you're bragging to share the joy that you have, that's great. If you're bragging to inspire others to follow in your footsteps, that's great. And if you're bragging as a means to encourage others who are thinking of quitting, those are all really good things. So I know for myself, this week, I'm going to send off an email, I think, to my own personal email list, and I'm going to start bragging a little bit tastefully and let people know about some of my accomplishments recently. Gay, have you shared your accomplishments with people recently?
Yes.
When did you do that?
Lately. Wait lang. I'll just recall. Oh, no, I was about to, because I am still writing a story.
Okay. And
But
think about that.
for the past,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
But for the past months, yes.
Go ahead. And Shemaine, have you bragged tastefully recently, telling people of your accomplishments?
How?
Yes, I think I told I wrote it in my success journal about my accomplishment.
That's wonderful, wonderful. So she said that she wrote in her success journal on breakdiving about her accomplishments. So that's fantastic. And I'm going to check that out. And Gay, if you haven't yet written a success journal entry, be sure to do that today. And why don't we practice this right now and share one accomplishment this week that you're very proud of? So I'll show you what I mean. Well, I'll give you two.
Yes.
One is I went to church, and I haven't gone in a long time. For me, that's a big accomplishment. 2, I made very, very good progress on writing my novel, and I am excited that I finished all the character analyses, and I think I'll have a full rough draft of the novel by the end of December. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Amiko, can you share one or two big accomplishments from this week?
Who? Charmaine?
No, yeah, but I don't know where she is. So, Gay, you go ahead.
Okay. One accomplishment I had is I went to church last Wednesday. Um, I already know how to make kimchi, a Korean dish.
What is
And
kimchi? Is it meat?
it's usually a spice. It is made of spice and cabbage.
Oh, it's cabbage. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and too much spicy.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't
two.
like
And
spicy foods myself, personally.
3, I'm still writing my characters like Mickey, Heidi. Yes, my script.
And when
That's
do you
the
think
3.
you'll have a rough draft of that completed?
There's a lot of edit I'm changing the whole story because of the settings,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay, good. So the last
Yeah.
one here for today is number 9. I keep my ego in check. I try to never treat people differently because they have money or don't have money. Therefore, I will strive to never let money or lack thereof change who I am. No matter how wealthy and successful I become or how much I struggle, I will not become self-obsessed and self-important. In the end, I am still just a mortal human, and so is everyone else. I think someone's writing in the chat room. Oh, Charmaine wrote that she ran 3 kilometers this week. Good job. That's fantastic. That's a great accomplishment. Yes, wonderful. Good. Very good. And the key, the reason why 8 and 9 are together is that they're 2 sides of the same coin. You need to, in order to succeed in life, you have to brag. You have to tell people what you're doing and what you've accomplished. But you can't let your accomplishments warp your judgment of yourself. So if you're very successful, you shouldn't think that you're amazing and God's gift to the world. And if you have failed at some things, you shouldn't feel like you're useless and garbage. Both of those are problems with ego. One is you've got a too big of an ego. The one is you've got too little of an ego. And so what we want here to do at Break Diving, we want you to have a happy, healthy ego. You're proud of your accomplishments, but you don't let your accomplishments let your ego get out of hand, and you acknowledge your failures and learn from them, but you don't let your failures ruin your life and make you feel terrible. And so we don't need to talk about this too much, but and why money is mentioned first is because it's an easy thing for people to think about. If you have lots of money, sometimes people start to think that they're somehow better than other people. And
That's true.
Right? And if you don't have money, sometimes you think that you're not as good as other people, or you think you're as good as them, but you don't understand why does John have so much money and I don't? And so those are the 3 main things that we're talking about today, of helping others, bragging tastefully, keeping my ego in check. Gay, what are your initial thoughts about those 3 or any of those? Anything come to mind?
Yeah, I wrote it on the general chat room.
Let's see what she wrote there. I'm gonna go find that and see what she wrote. And she wrote after it goes, it's good to be a good example to new members, welcome them warmly, and don't be boastful, just stay humble. It's a good thing about being humble, but don't false humility is not helpful to anybody.
Mm,
So sometimes people think if I'm silent, then I'm humble. But
yeah.
no, that's kind of lying to people because you're not telling them exactly who you are. So being
Right.
humble is important, but you still need to. I always say that's why you need to brag tastefully. I mean, you need to
Okay.
boast, but be humble about it. It's a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let people know that you're awesome, but you have to do it without them thinking she's a jerk or he's a jerk. But his or her ego is just way out of control. It's a very, very tough thing. I honestly think though, if you just honestly try, if we honestly try to always help other people, our ego is not going to get in the way with that. We're not going to look down on people, and we're not going to look down on ourselves. And this says I always try to help. You should also try to help yourself. I think so many times we don't do the things that we need to do to get ourselves out of trouble, or to prevent ourselves from getting into trouble, or making our lives a little bit easier for some reason. Maybe we don't feel we're worth it, or we don't think about ourselves as we do other people, but we're just another person, and each of us needs help as well. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Stay who you are. Don't forget how did you start, and share your dreams and accomplishments honestly.
Beautiful. I like what you said. Don't forget where you came from. I think that's a big
Yes.
problem with people who become successful. They forget that there was a time when they were not successful, and somebody helped them become successful. And some people might say, nobody helped me get successful. I did it all on my own. Well, no, if you made money and you're a success, somebody purchased something that you
Yes.
were selling in some way, shape, or form. So maybe it was your customers. Maybe it was if you made your money in the stock market, maybe you read a book that taught you how to succeed in the stock market. Maybe all of the people who helped you learn your lessons about how not to lose money in the stock market. For example, let's say you invested $1,000 and you lose 500. Well, whoever pushed the stock price higher and made you lose the money, or pushed it lower, even though you don't know who they are, you have to in some ways say thank you to them, because they were the ones that taught you the lesson about stop loss or about investing better. So I love that what you said, Gay. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
We have to remember where we came from, and remember, once we become successful, that's not the time to go, oh, great, my life is easy. No, now it's time to say, you know what? Before I sit back and relax, let me help a few other people become successful too. Because I just feel like that's what break divers do. That's what we do. We help other people while we're succeeding. And once we become successful, we're going to help pull up those other people who are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Shemaine, do you have any thoughts? You can put them in the chat room, or you can unmute yourself and share your thoughts as well. So anyway, I'll continue. The main thing about why we were doing this Divers Code meetings eventually is, I wanted to I know that I think most members, you read through them when you're joining, but you probably don't look at them every month or every week, and you kind of forget. And I know for me, you have to be reminded of what you believe in. Sounds weird, but if you're not constantly reminded of what you believe in, you will not remember what you believe in. And Shemaine just wrote in the chat room, I think I totally agree with Gay and your thoughts.
Mm,
Awesome.
great.
That means we're on the right track. And so that's why we're doing this. And if someone who's not a member stumbles upon this video on YouTube, in these little bits of pieces of the Divers Code, they're going to get to know more about break diving and think, oh, wow, there's a social media community where you have to be humble and brag tastefully, but share your accomplishments and help other people. I want to be a part of that. And so for those of you, if you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. Please share this channel. Please give us a thumbs up. And if you like this philosophy and what we're talking about, don't just passively watch us on YouTube. Come join us. Come to breakdiving.io. You can find the description, the link in the description, or just go to breakdiving.io and apply to join our awesome community where our philosophy, our creed is no rules, no excuses, no regrets. And so we use that philosophy to help lift up one another and
Yes.
across the globe. And like you said, I'm in New York, Gay's in the Philippines, Charmaine's in Zimbabwe. That's just 3 of us. And it's always like this. All of our meetings are always a different collection of people from around the world. And Charmaine
Still
just,
stay connected.
what's that, Gay?
Yeah, still connected.
Oh, are you talking about Charmaine?
Yeah.
What do you mean still connected?
We are all connected across the globe.
Oh, across the globe. Yes, exactly. And I think that's what's really special about breakdiving is you meet people and make friends with people in all these different countries who you would never meet anywhere else. And we're bringing together a lot of great people like you, Gay, like you, Charmaine, and like me. And we share our life's trials, tribulations, successes, accomplishments. And it's all good. And
Yeah.
so, Gay, have you posted a success journal post yet in the community?
Not yet.
So
Uh,
sometime this week, just go to your profile, click on the tab that says success journal, and just click
mhm.
submit new success
Okay,
journal.
success journal.
And you can
Okay,
keep
got
track
that.
of the, just type whatever you wanted to write about, some of the things you're trying to do, or some of your recent accomplishments. That's a place
Yeah.
where you can brag tastefully. Tell people
Yes.
what you accomplished and then explain how maybe others can do the same thing. So I'm sure someone else might like to know about kimchi. So maybe you can share that how you made it and how you're becoming a better cook.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
great.
sure.
Really fascinating.
Yes. I guess, yes. I guess it is good to have a practice on sharing one accomplishment per week.
I think so. I think that's a good goal. And maybe what we'll do is modify the success journals later so that it encourages everyone to post something new each week
Yes.
to inspire all of the rest of the community. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stop the recording now and we can all wave goodbye to everyone on YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Hope to see you soon.
Bye.